This is the general forecast reading as well as the love and relationship reading for the 7th of December 2015. We'll start with your love and relationship reading. Your first card up is that card of longevity, of things that have been around for a long time and things that will be around for a long time. So we're probably talking about long-standing relationships and partnerships here. They're probably the focus for this week. There is a rainbow involved here, so no doubt there is good stuff that comes from these relationships. These are relationships that feed you, that are part of your foundation of life. What you know is there's lots of communication in these relationships, lots of back and forth chatter. You maybe gossip among one another. And there's definitely no lack of communication. These are the type of relationships where there's no lack of communication. What you don't know is about these relationships are about to undergo fundamental change. So all of you that are in long-term, long-standing relationships, be they platonic, business, or romantic, your relationship's about to have a shift, a deep shift in their foundations. Your next step is going to be to, this card says whip into shape is the sort of the key words that come with it. So you are needing to right something within the relationship that perhaps is a little unbalanced, or that for a while now hasn't been working quite the way it should, and you've swept it under the carpet or ignored it because you're busy or life is stressful and you haven't had time. But it is now time to deal with it. And the guidance here is the purification card, which normally says it's clean up time. This has to do with cleaning up your way of thinking, your way of speaking, your heart, your soul. So it's time to clean out maybe all that stuff and all that behavior that one accrues during long-term relationships that is sometimes detrimental to the relationships, or sometimes doesn't even serve a purpose any longer, and it's really just become habit. So take a look at those habits that you have now gathered up over time that are really not serving your relationship and therefore the two of you any good, and take a look at cleaning them out. Now the whip card means that this is not easy. We are creatures of habit. That is all we are, is creatures of habit. So it will take concerted effort on your part. And the outcome is that of an obstacle to overcome. I think the outcome here is that one now has the energies are giving you the potential to overcome a major obstacle or something that you perceive to be a major obstacle in your long-term relationships that are hindering them, or that you feel are hindering them, and are not giving them room to grow and expand. So now there are energies available to do something about overcoming that obstacle. I pulled the overlying guidance card for your love and partnership readings, and this one says the answer lies within you. Seek the truth. So first place to look is inside of you. When the cleanup starts, you look at yourself. No pointing fingers right at the moment. This obstacle lies within you, and you need to recognize it. The other card says breathe. It's the forest card. So that is actually the thing to do. Take a deep breath. Expel it. Maybe think of all those things that you don't like, that are bothering you, that you've swept under the carpet. Breathe them out and just let them go. So many of those things genuinely don't have any standing in your relationships any longer, but because they've been around so long, they've become part and parcel of your relationships. Literally breathe them out and let them go. Okay, so that is your love and partnership reading for the 7th of December 2015. For those of you that are single and looking for love, watch the general reading now, because there's something interesting cropping up in there, and this has been cropping up in quite a few readings lately. So, right, so now your general forecast reading starts with the card that says to be fair. Now this card is about the pendulum of life swinging back and forth. So this can be one of two things. I actually think it's more along the lines of one is going to get your just dessert at the moment, and this is not necessarily in a negative way. But if you have found life has been incredibly heavy over the last few months and you've been dealing with what or not, you may find a little bit of good karma heading your healing. Yes, healing is a good little slip in there. A bit of healing this week, a little bit of good karma heading your way that helps to heal what everything has been doing. All the hurts and all the cracks and all the stress. This week something could be heading your way to heal that. Your challenge is going to be that you need to address life from the foundation. So it was a little bit similar to your love and relationships reading as well. You need to start from the foundations up again. Your changes and your shifts need to come at root level. You need to go right back to the beginning and start building up from there again. Your guidance says dawn, new beginnings, so that's lovely. So there are new beginnings coming. Now, sometimes with new beginnings, you've got to break down the old. And that's probably what this building blocks is about. You're going to need to break down the old and start your foundation again. But the new beginnings is a card of promise. It's a lovely card. The sun is breaking out and you'll have a chance to start anew. Now, the Soulmates cards comes up for later in the month. So, Soulmates, as most of you will probably know by now, means there's a soul contract. You have unfinished business with one another, be it whatever it might be. And this can apply to both platonic relationships and romantic relationships. So those of you that are single at the moment, there is a soulmate about to show itself on the horizon. He's about to present herself or himself. Understand that soulmates are learning relationships. You have things you need to learn from one another. So it's lots of little hearts and really cute penguins on this card. It's a beautiful card. But do remember there is a lesson here as well. And it could be a good lesson. I'm not saying that it could be hard and harsh. It could be a good lesson. But soulmate relationships have, shall we say, a thread of seriousness in them. For those of you already in long-term relationships and partnerships, this is probably about the fact that you are now coming to a event in your partnerships or relationships that has to do with that soul contract. You will be dealing with the fact that you're soulmates, and something in that soul contract now comes up in the relationships. Early in this month, though, the happy card shows up. So life will be, like I said as well, with getting one sort of a fair something coming into your life to right all the wrongs. So something's going to happen that's going to make people happy this month. Something nice is cropping up in the week. Did I say month earlier on? I did. When that slips in, it's probably not an accident. So just keep note of when I say month instead of week, because it probably does apply. But earlier in this week, there is something nice coming into everybody's lives. Then your next step is going to be to stop looking at that clock, to stop wanting things to happen at a certain time when you plan them, or you are so tired of waiting for that to happen because you expected it 3 weeks ago. What you need and what you deserve will come to you when the time is right. And when you let go of this constant hanging on to time that we do have, you will find life shifts in ways I cannot even begin to explain to you. That you need to do for yourself and watch how life changes. Because your guidance here is that of celebration. So what it is saying is, instead of looking at what you don't have, and by Thursday I should have it, or by this month I should have it, or I should have had it, celebrate what you do have. Celebrate it with your heart and soul and with genuine enthusiasm. As this card suggests, even put music on and dance. Celebrate what you have, because it will make a big difference to what you get next. Now the outcome card is that of the thinker. And that's about strategizing and planning, but not only strategizing, getting tongue twisted here, but the fact that if you strategize and plan at the moment, leave time out of it, okay? You will find it will be very successful. The energies available at the moment make for successful planning and strategizing. You may also find you can detach your emotions a little bit more successfully at the moment from your planning. and strategizing, and this could also make it more successful. So that is your outcome card. You have the potential to plan and strategize with success in the next week. Now your two guidance cards here that I pulled, the one is the mountain and the other one is decisions, determination and destiny. Lovely looking card this. This card basically says choose a direction. You may have hundreds of choices. You may have only 2 choices, but you're struggling with a decision. Make the decision, head off in that direction with determination. The mountain card backs that up. Stand as strong as a mountain when you make this decision, but make the decision and commit to that decision and head off in that direction, which works nicely with your last card, the strategizing and planning. So don't let that little self-doubt, nagging voice in your head deter you. Don't let other people deter you. Do not let the drama that is happening in the world around you stop you from carrying on with your plans. You need to carry on with it. You need to be creative. You need to keep making and doing and planning what you want to do. Okay, so that is your guidance for your general forecast reading for the week of 7th December 2015. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and listening.